Hey guys, DB here, and as you've already read from the title, it's a secondary weapon guide, which was requested by a couple of people, but I don't exactly remember who else suggested that other than Chrono. But here you have it. Today I'll be guiding you through 4 secondary weapons, which are USP, the backup pistol, which comes in the starter weapon pack so it's absolutely free, PulsePistol, the semi-automatic blast pistol, Revolver, a deadly secondary gun, and the CPW, an automatic medium-range pistol. The other 3 secondary weapons were off the table, honestly, because they have completely different abilities that can't be compared, namely the RPG, gravity gun, and the warrior bow. But I will consider reviewing them, but not in this guide, probably in some other guide. Anyways, let's get started with our first secondary weapon, and that's the USP. You may find people underestimating this weapon, but trust me, ever since the Pulse Pistol came out, people actually feel a lot better about this gun, or perhaps at least I do, because honestly, it's for free. And it performs better than the Pulse Pistol does, which is something we will get into shortly. But first, let's take a look at the analytics of this particular pistol. It has 8 bullets per magazine and 48 in reserve, a fire rate of 8 bullets per second. So that means the lowest possible time difference between 2 consecutive shots is 0.125 seconds, or simply 125 milliseconds. It has a recoil of 13 bars, which is the second best recoil among the 4 secondary weapons. It has the best bullet spread, along with Pulse Pistol of 7 bars. Looking at the damage chart, 19 on the head, 17 on torso, and 14 on the limb. So if you hit all your shots on the head, it'll take 6 bullets, taking up to 0.75 seconds to take out your enemy, which is the highest recording time for a secondary weapon to kill an enemy through head damage. If you go for torso, it also takes 6 bullets, so aiming for the head in this weapon is kinda useless. On limb, it takes you 8 bullets, which takes a whole 1 second to kill the player. But you can't miss a single bullet in the round then, because it only has 8 bullets in 1 round. So basically, if you hit all the bullets in a round with this weapon, either limb, torso, or head, it's guaranteed that it's gonna kill the enemy. But the difference is, if you go for head or torso, it's gonna save you 2 bullets, in case you want to miss some. Moving swiftly on to Pulse Pistol. It costs 7,500, and honestly, my aim would be that by the time I'm done talking about this weapon, you should be convinced to not ever buy it. Anyways, on the armory menu, it says it's a semi-automatic blast pistol. It explains why would you call it a blast pistol, because it has a blue hit marker. But if you define this as a semi-automatic gun, then USP and Revolver are also semi-automatic in that definition. Pulse Pistol and USP has the same fire rate of 8 bullets per second, so 1 bullet in 125 milliseconds. It has 8 bullets per magazine and 48 in reserve, same as that of the USP. A bad recoil of 14 bars, which is 1 bar higher than that of the USP's recoil, and the same bullet spread of 7 bars as that of the USP. Moving to the damage chart, here is where it takes the lead from USP. 22 head damage, 18 torso damage, and 17 limb damage. On head, it takes 5 bullets to kill the enemy, so taking up to 0.62 seconds, which is slightly higher than that of what USP takes. 6 bullets on torso, taking up to 0.75 seconds, which is the same as that of what USP requires, and 6 bullets on the limb. So here, it doesn't matter if you hit the torso or limb, it's gonna take you 6 bullets anyways. Now if you compare both weapons, they have the same fire rate, same bullets per magazine ratio, same bullet spread. USP has a better recoil, so the only place where Pulse Pistol takes lead here is in the damage chart, where it takes the same time to take out the enemy if you go for torso hits. On head, it only takes 0.13 seconds quicker for Pulse Pistol to kill than USP, and 0.25 seconds on the limb. But here's what makes you rethink your decision on buying the Pulse Pistol when you look at the weapon ahead, which is a Revolver. It only costs 2,000 in-game cash more, but its capabilities are fascinating, because if Pulse Pistol takes lead from the USP through damage chart, then Revolver is way better in those terms. Anyways, let's take a better look at this weapon. Revolver costs 9,500 in-game cash, 6 bullets per magazine, 36 in reserve, which is the worst in comparison with the other 3 weapons. A fire rate of 6 bullets per second, so 1 bullet in every 166 millisecond. Recoil of 21 bar, which is the worst among the other 3 weapons. And a bullet spread of 10, which is better than that of the CPW's bullet spread, but not better than that of the USP's and Pulse Pistol's bullet spread. The damage chart of this Revolver is where it tops every other secondary weapon, because if you can counter the above parameters, the damages this gun can make is insanely overwhelming. 59 head damage, 34 torso damage, and 29 limb damage. It only takes 2 bullets on the head to kill your enemy, taking up to only 0.33 second. 3 bullets on torso taking up to 0.45 second, and 4 bullets on limb taking up to 0.66 second. So by records, it is the best secondary weapon in terms of all 3 damages. And since it takes 2 to maximum 4 bullets to kill someone, that explains why it has 6 bullets per magazine and 36 in reserve. It can take out 3 people before it has to reload if all shots are on the head. All of this on a margin of only 2,000 in-game cash after PulsePistol. I'll talk a little more about it on concluding this video, but right now let's move on to the last weapon in the queue, which is the CPW, which is an automatic medium range pistol. It costs 17,500 in-game cash. The most special thing about this weapon is its ability to shoot all fires in a clip without having to press the trigger every time, which is what being an automatic gun means if you didn't know. It has 25 bullets per magazine and 100 bullets in reserve, which is the best stat among the secondary weapons. A fire rate of 12 bullets per second, so 1 bullet in 83 milliseconds, which is insanely better than all the other 3 guns. It has the best recoil of only 9 bars, but since it's automatic, it can cause you a little more trouble than the other 3 guns would. It has the highest bullet spread of 11 bars, but it's an automatic gun, so that explains why it has a higher bullet spread. But you don't really have to worry about it, because just like in snipers, bullet spread only works while being out of scope. Once you scope, or even better, once you scope while crouching, the bullet spread becomes almost nil, as you can see on your screen right now. And as you all can predict, it's an automatic gun, so the damage chart wouldn't be too fascinating, otherwise it will become too overpowered. It has a head damage of 17, 11 on torso, and 9 on the limb. But on the head, it takes 6 bullets, taking up to 0.5 seconds, which is better than the time USP and PulsePistol takes. It takes 10 bullets on the torso, taking up to 0.83 seconds, which is the worst recorded time to kill an enemy through torso damage among the other 3 weapons. And it takes 12 bullets on limb, taking up to a whole 1 second. So on this weapon, you should definitely go for the head. It fires the whole clip of 25 bullets in 2 seconds, so you can take 4 people down in a clip if all shots are on the head, and 2 people if shots are on the limb or torso. So there you have it. On concluding this video, if you want to buy PulsePistol, please don't. You can either stay on USP or add 2,000 more to buy Revolver. But buying the PulsePistol would be of no use. I did a review on PulsePistol as soon as it came out, I'll link that in the description too, and I talked on there for how this weapon does not have anything new that can make it be worth 7,500, unless anyone has to argue about that. So you can either stay on USP or jump to the Revolver, but don't stop on PulsePistol. If you can wait to save for CPW, then go for it, because it's a really good weapon and has a unique ability that you can cash out in game. Anyways, it was a really hectic and long guide, that's what it took a while to upload it. But anyhow, hope this guide helps you in any way, and I'll see you in a new guide shortly. Adios.